With us, the Boston College Eagles, Coach Jerry York, along with Teddy Doherty and Thatcher Demko. First, we'll hear a statement from Coach York, and then we'll take questions for the student athletes, and then Coach York after that. Coach?
Well, we, like all the other 15 schools that are involved in it, are very, very excited. I think it's something we all look forward to, NCAA tournaments. You know, you see the excitement we've been watching with the basketball the last few weeks, and the same thing permeates out of the hockey world. And, you know, to be part of a group coming into Worcester, or, you know, Harvard the opponent, it's pretty exciting for our team and for our coaches, and just genuine proud of our team this year to come make an NCAA tournament, and now our sights are set on, you know, see if we can get by Harvard. Presents an awful lot of problems for us.
All right, thank you, Coach. Questions for our student athletes. Let's go to Rich right here.
Rich Thompson, Boston Herald. Terry, just in terms of strength of region, what does it say with 6 Hockey East teams and all 4 Beanpot teams in this tournament, field of 16?
Yeah, this is really good for our conference. You know, we had a really strong conference this year, and it's evident by all the teams we got in. And with Northeastern winning the Hockey East tournament, it just speaks to how deep our league is. They were the 6th seed, and you know, the top 5 teams, all of us could have easily won that tournament. So it's something to be very proud of. Very deep conference. We go to war every weekend with any team we play against, and you know, it's something that we're very proud of here at Boston College.
All right, Rich.
Teddy, Rich Garvin from the Worcester Telegram. Kind of an open-ended question here, but can you just speak to your experience at BC and kind of what stood out to you about your time on campus?
Yeah, it's been a great 4 years here. Hopefully we extended a few more weeks, but you know, it's just been everything I ever thought it would be. My teammates made it so special for me. You know, we got to the Frozen Four in Philadelphia, and that's probably been the highlight for sure, or along with the Beanpots. And you know, hopefully we can get down to Tampa this year. But it's been an incredible 4 years, and I can't thank my teammates and my coaches enough.
Rich again, right here.
Again, Teddy, just for you, can you? I think you guys numerically are, I don't know, 6th or 7th in the country and in defense. Can you just speak to the kind of, you know, how you've been able to accomplish holding teams in check, and maybe as a follow-up to that, I'm sure that Thatcher has a lot to do with that as well. Yeah,
I was going to say Thatcher is he backstops a pretty good defensive core we got here, but you know, I think we've been a little lackadaisical in our defensive zone lately, and it's been a point of emphasis for us this week, bearing down D zone, limiting the other team's chances. And versus a team like Harvard, that's going to be critical. If we're going to win this game, we got to limit their offensive zone time. Of course, Thatcher has a lot to do with it. He's been playing great. You know, we expect the same out of him, and he has high expectations for himself. So I'm sure you could touch on it a little more.
Yeah, like Teddy said, we've been trying to emphasize it a little bit. You know, we have been having some good defensive numbers this year, but we all think that we can still be better. And this week in practice, we really worked on it, and our compete level in the D zone was really high, and that's something we're looking to carry into this weekend.
Thatcher, not to put you on the spot here with Teddy next to you, but can you speak to what it's like to have a guy like him, you know, seasoned veteran, in front of you, kind of organizing things?
Yeah. I love this kid. He's one of my best friends on the team, along with, you know, everyone else. But he's just been an incredible leader this year. He keeps things light, but at the same time, there's that level of focus in the room, and it's just been a lot of fun. You know, he makes it fun coming to the rink every day, and you know, it can be a grind mid-season coming to the rink and working hard and getting on the ice for practice, but he makes it fun somehow every single day, and all the guys look up to him, and you know, he'll definitely be missed next year.
Right here.
Teddy, Gary Santinello, New York Times. I know you've seen a lot of Harvard over the years. You saw him in the first round of the Beanpot. Have you guys noticed anything different since you last played him, or are you preparing any differently for him this time?
Well, I guess I could say that we prepare the same way for every team that we face, and the fact that it's a Beanpot opponent that we're playing, that we've seen him, it benefits us because we know what we're getting ourselves into. We know how good their offense is. It's high octane, and you know, they have a lot of strengths that you know, we need to be ready for. But yeah, playing a team like Harvard, it helps us a lot. And there's a little bit of change from when we played them in February, but not much. So we're ready to go with that.
I think it helps you get a little more. First game of the tournament is a team you're very familiar with, as opposed to playing somebody from out west you haven't seen.
Right. Yeah, it definitely helps a lot. And, with our region, we obviously Providence and Minnesota Duluth in that first game, neither team's seen each other. So it helps a lot that, we're playing a team that lives right down the street from us for sure.
Any other questions? Rich Garvin again?
Sorry to hit on you, Teddy. I'm just curious. You're obviously a local guy. Just wondering what it means to you to have gone from Hopkinton to Chestnut Hill, and as a follow-up, somebody described you as a glue guy. I don't know if by that I think they meant you're just solid and contribute in a bunch of areas. So just first part on the Hopkinton to Chestnut Hill, and maybe what you take pride in your game if you see yourself as a glue guy.
Yeah. So being from Hopkinton, I always went to BC games. My uncle played for Coach when they won the national championship in 2001 in Albany. And ever since I saw them win that game, I wanted to go to Boston College. And, being able to be recruited by Coach York, it was almost like undescribable, unrealistic. And, I'm just so happy with the decision to come to Boston College in that regard. As far as contributing, I'll play goalie if I have to. If Thatcher got hurt, I'd step in the net for sure. But, whatever they... You might. No, I'd just do whatever I can to help the team win, be a superstar in your role. That's what Coach has been preaching since day one. I got there freshman year. So just doing the best I can, playing wing or defense or whatever I do.
Any more questions for the student athletes? Okay, thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it. Good luck to you tomorrow. Take questions for Coach York. Let's go right here.
Bruce Siskey, Red Rock Radio, Duluth. The last 10 years since the Holy Cross upset of Minnesota, seen a lot more of number 4 seeds beating number 1 seeds. What have you noticed about this sport that makes this tournament so wide open almost every year now?
Well, I think the level of hockey throughout the United States in the collegiate ranks is it's not A to Z anymore. It's a lot tighter, and you might perceive some upsets, but just like in basketball, it's who's the best team that particular night. But in hockey, it's really there's 50-odd teams that play, but it's not a wide disparity among the leagues now, and even the bottom parts of the leagues are strong. So there's been some upsets. Look at RIT. Upset Robert Morris, really, when you look at it coming into here. And I think the field is very balanced. Ferris was certainly not a lock to come out of the WCHA, and they're here, so in the tournament. I just think it's a lot closer, the really top-end teams, and what generally was considered like 16 and below. It's extremely close now.
Rich?
Jerry, the last 5 times you've been to Worcester, you guys have advanced to the Frozen Four. And I understand they're all different teams, but just wondering if there's any thoughts on the fact that you've had a lot of success here and why that might be.
Well, I think the venue's close to home, so it's good for our student parties and our alumni that live in the area to come and join us. But other than that, it's a hockey game, it's a hockey rink, and you can't say, hey, we won here in this particular year, so we're gonna have to win tomorrow night. So it's a brand new situation for us each year, and if we've won that many times here, we've played very, very well when we've won. So nobody lets you advance to the final championship game here. So it's comfortable because it's close, but I don't think because we've won here in the past means we're going to win here again. We have to earn it.
Rich?
Your thoughts on Teddy Doherty and his career at BC?
Oh, he's been a good player for us. He's bounced back and forth from defense to forward, and never complained about it, and has worked on his strength since day one, and he's always been a terrific leader. But his skill level is better now too, so he's shown constant improvement. We're certainly glad he's with us now. One of only 2 seniors that dress for us, so not many in that class there.
for receiving, but he's been plus minus. He's been plus every year. And a lot of freshmen, you don't see that, and maybe even sophomores. Does that kind of speak to his decision making on the ice?
Clearly, it does. Yeah, he's had a nice career here at BC.
Right there.
Something that was touched on with the players, the familiarity with Harvard. It's a beanpot opponent, somebody you see every year. UMD had that last year in the first round with Minnesota, versus having an opponent that you've never faced before or you haven't faced in years. From a coach's standpoint, how does it change your preparation to have a familiar opponent here in the first round?
You know, we do a lot of film preparation, no matter who we play. So, and it's, you know, we're pretty familiar with the National Conference, the Big Ten. We follow it very closely. A lot of televised games, so it's never like, Hoosiers when Hickory comes in and they have no idea what they're like, what the starting lineup is. You know, we follow college hockey pretty closely at BC, and now Harvard. Every year we play them, whether it's a beanpot or just a regular season game, and I think this is Teddy's best team he's had. Certainly. Corsulo and Kerfoot and VC are top-end players, form a outstanding line. But whoever we would have played would have had comparable players like that. We are a little more familiar because we see them on a more regular basis. The comfort level is never up or down. We're always uncomfortable going into a game because we respect the other opponents. So whether we're going to play Duluth or Providence or Harvard, we would be uncomfortable.
Rich, right here. And then
Hi, Jerry. Rich Thompson, Boston Herald. Just talk about the continuity of Harvard's first line. It looks like they've been together almost 2 years.
Yeah, and I think you could tell watching them play. They move pucks well. They present a lot of creative offensive chances by moving pucks. And Thatcher has to be aware when they're on the ice. And our team's aware also, but they're deeper than just that line, and I feel that's an outstanding line, but some other players up and down the lineup. This is, like I said, his best collection of players he's had.
Rich.
Jerry, I think I read somewhere you guys are averaging 14 penalty minutes a game, which is
Way too many, yeah.
So just if you could speak, again, I don't know, could be skewered by a game, but I'm just wondering your thoughts on that. But conversely, the penalty kill's been outstanding this year. I don't know if that's kind of helped bail you out at times, obviously.
Yeah, it has. They've done a nice job with it. And, sometimes the top-end teams, it's just human nature. We get more calls against. We go in as a favorite most of the time, and I think it's human nature to, we're going to protect the underdog, and that's part of it, whether it's basketball, whether it's football or hockey, and we see some of that. But the majority of it is that we've just got to learn to defend by moving our feet and not reaching. When you reach, you cause problems. You're going to be a hooking penalty, there's going to be a tripping penalty. So moving our feet will help us an awful lot on that. It's nice getting the national tournaments because everybody's considered a good team, and you don't have that, hey, we got to protect the underdog. So it's all meshed in there, but nationals are all good teams. So.
Question in the back.
Yeah, Coach, Matt Clarida from Harvard Radio. I always find it interesting when the Massachusetts schools play each other in the Beanpot. And now, from a recruiting perspective, are there kids that maybe the Massachusetts local kids that Harvard has, 4 or 5 of them, that you remember getting involved with? And can you just talk about if you run into Coach Donato and his staff on the trail, especially with local guys?
Oh, yeah, we're always competing against Harvard, BU, Northeast, and the Beanpot schools. And they're all difficult to recruit against. Nobody just walks in the door. But we also have Michigan coming in and Notre Dame coming in, and North Dakota when we go west. So it's not easy to get the top end players to your school. But the Beanpot schools, with the Boston kids, we'll probably all run into each other a lot more on that. But it's never easy recruiting players.
Any more questions for Coach? Yep, Gary, right up here. We'll get you a mic quick.
Just wanted to ask you about one of your Hockey East brethren. For some perspective, the run that they put together, not only to make the, get to the Garden, but to get to the NCAA is 21-2 in the Hockey East. Can you remember any team going on a run like that to get this far?
Never from a 1-11 start, a 1-10 start. I've seen teams go on runs. They're really good clubs, but generally it's they've been very good, and all of a sudden they go on a run. For what Jim did is remarkable. A team that looked like it was in disarray, lost a couple of games real early, I think, to Bentley, and just never could put it together. And all of a sudden, to achieve what they've done it's remarkable. He by far, if I had to vote for Coach of the Year, and I will later on, he's certainly my favorite. That's
Even said the other day, you remembered the game, BC, that you guys beat them 4-3 overtime or whatever, and he said even losing to BC, we started to feel like we were playing better. Could you see then that, hey, if they get lucky, they get Roy back, they could give teams trouble down the stretch?
Well, yeah, certainly, but I never could see a run like they've gone on. I thought they're a pretty good club because when they played us, it was a tie and it was a one-goal game. It was, they competed very hard. But with my wildest dreams, I never thought they were going to run off 22 or 23 games and play as well as they have. They haven't upset anybody. Their play has been outstanding. So,
Rich, right here.
Just real quick, Jerry, it's kind of off topic a little, but I was wondering if you had opinion about Notre Dame's exit.
yeah, I thought they really added a lot to our league, and I thought especially BC Notre Dame rivalry. Two major Division I schools battling each other in different sports. So, we'll love to have seen them stay, but I can also understand the footprint with the Big Ten is they can bust the Michigan State, bust the Ohio State. It's going to be a lot easier for the travel situation. So we're going to miss the Irish for sure. Yeah, they probably would have gone there in the first place if there was an affiliated agreement, but the Big Ten wanted them for all sports and wouldn't budge on it. Now with Hopkins going lacrosse, has a little wiggle room for Notre Dame to do that. So in the long run, it's better for them, and we wish them the very best of luck. We'll still play them, ND and BC. We'll still play.
Any other questions for Coach? Okay, thank you very much, Coach.